everyone, I'm Tan, the monogamous cross stitcher. Welcome to my first official floss tube. I've got a lot to talk about today, so I hope you're prepared for this to be a longer video. Anyway, quick introduction. So I'm Tan. I went to the Floss Friends retreat in a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. That was organised by Sami, Little Loops, and Andrea, the stitchy technician. I do have to look down because I can't remember everyone's name, so I'm sorry for that. It was amazing. I absolutely loved it. It was one of the best retreats I've ever been to. I've only been to 3 so far, so they were my third and I absolutely loved it, so much so that I've booked up to go again next April. So if any of the people I went with the retreat are watching, I'll see you next April. So basically, yeah, I had an amazing time at the retreat and I brought quite a few things. So, well, I say quite a few things because I'm not easily enabled, and if you're watching this video, you'll know you have tried to enable me. It does not work. So I don't have a lot of whips. I only have 5, I think, but I'm going to show you those in another video. So for now, I am going to show you the little haul that I brought from the retreat. I'm quite picky when it comes to things I want and what I want to stitch. So, and I always ask myself these 3 specific questions. If I see something I really like, I ask myself these specific questions. So I always ask myself, will I stitch that? Yes. Will I frame it? No. And do I like it? Yes. So if I'm not going to frame it, then I don't bother buying it. I'm very much a stitch what I frame kind of girl, so that goes with diamond paintings as well. So if I see something I absolutely love and it's all 3 of those things, then I will buy it and I will stitch it monogamously. I've tried rotating, I just can't do it. I get so engrossed in that one piece that I just can't. I just can't. I've tried, I can't do it. So I'm very much a one project kind of girl until that's finished, and then I'll move on to my next. Or when I'm reaching the near end, I'll start kitting up my next one to stitch that. Ready. So anyway, I'm going completely off track. I do tend to do that, so I do apologise. But yeah, that's the way I am. You'll get used to that. So anyway, moving on to the things that I did buy at the retreat. I will be referring to and from the retreat because I always lose my trail of thought, but it's more natural that way anyway. So yeah, so I brought some fabric because I'm in a Zoom group with a few people who I speak to quite often. The Zoom group is open 24 hours a day, so I tend to go in whenever. I've got very lovely American friends on there, Carrie, Chrissy, if you're watching this, hello girls. And then I've got a lovely friend in Belfast, Steph, and then I've got other friends around the UK, Joe, B, Liv, there's just so many of them. Josie I actually met at the retreat, and Dawn as well, so it was lovely to see them in the flesh, but I'll get back to that anyway. So shout out to my Zoom friends, lovely ladies who got me through very hard times at work, which will never ever ever, it will always be very much appreciated and I will never forget it. Anyway, going back to my haul. So I was talking about my Zoom friends for a reason, and that reason was we have decided to do a temperature sale, which is going to take place next year. Now, I saw my friend B stitching a temperature sale, and I was like, oh, I like that. And then I saw my other friend Barbara stitching it, Barbara who lives in Germany, and I was like, oh, I really, really, really want to do one of those. So I was looking on Etsy, and there's so many temperature sales on there. I saw quite a few that I liked, but some were really simple. You pick the highest temperature of the day or the lowest temperature of the day, and you stitch that colour. And I was like, right, great, cool, no problem, I'll do that. That's fine. But then I saw this one. I will link it down below. It's the potion bottles temperature sale, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I like that. So I told my Zoom friends about it, and they said, oh yes, I'd like to do that as well. And I was like, oh, we should all do it together. So we have decided to get all the supplies now, maybe start stitching the shelves the end of this year, and then we can start it together next year. I'm not sure how many are taking place in the sale, but I do know that there's a few of us, so we sort of basically seeing what happens. So my job was to find some fabric, which I was struggling with because I wanted it to be like spooky type fabric, because it's potion bottles. And when I went to the Floss Friends retreat, I found the perfect fabric. And I've never actually heard of Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. Like I say, I'm not easily enabled, and I've never ever watched FlossTube before. I'm very much a newbie to FlossTube. I've only recently started watching FlossTube since I left the retreat. So that was the only thing I came away from the retreat enabled, was to start a FlossTube. So yeah, you ladies know who you are. I'll be talking about you later. So basically, yes, I got this beautiful fabric from Coffee Craft Fabrics, which I will link below. I couldn't find an even weave in 25 count, which is my favourite count to stitch on, so I opted for Ada 20 count, and this is the beautiful fabric. So I thought it was perfect because it's a nice smoky grey, and it's a nice big piece as well, so I could probably fit a couple of pieces on there. So yes, that's one of my purchases. Now I will be going on, I don't know if she's got a website or an Etsy, but I have been enabled by the lovely Tarina, who I will come back to shortly, to start a stitch along in October, but we'll come back to that one. So the other things I brought from the retreat was, I'm very much a matchy kind of person, so I like my grime guard to match my project bag, and I like a little bag to put my accessories in and things like that. So I brought a grime guard from Stitch Mania Stash. Hold it the right way up. I'm very much a lover of Harry Potter, Slytherin and Proud. Got to get that out there. And that's 11 by 11 for a Q snap, but I use it on my nerge because I'm a rebel and I don't care about the hole at the top. But there you go. So that's me. And I also had a bag done as well. And I had to have, obviously, Slytherin fixer. So I'm currently using that bag. I had to empty it out, but I'm currently using that bag to hold my colours for my next stitch. Also from Michelle at Stitch Mania Stash, I got a scissor fob. I'm not sure if you can see that very well. So it's got a needle threader and it's got an unpicking tool, which I have used already. It's very pretty. I do like sparkly things. And the other thing I got, which is quite important when you're doing a head, Heaven and Earth Designs, heed, as people keep telling me it is, but I just rebel and say head because, yeah, is some counting pins, which are very, very pretty. So I've got those, so they are helping when I'm looking to park. I'm doing the Royal Rose method because Ali's way of stitching is so much easier and so much faster, and who doesn't want to stitch faster to get things done quicker? So I do the Royal Rose method, and sometimes I'm a bit of a rebel and I don't park in the dungeon or in the left tower. I park a bit further over, and I shouldn't, but I do. So that's why I need the counting pins. So those are the only things I brought from the retreat. So I was really quite good, but there you go. I'm not easily enabled. I don't tend to buy on a whim. If there's something I really want, I tend to contact that person privately and ask them if there's any way they can do some sort of something, normally Harry Potter, into a bag or a grime guard or anything like that. I do have 3 Harry Potter sets now. I do also have another Harry Potter grime guard, which is in this material. So that's my little bag. And Joe at Ladybird made me that with a matching grime guard and a matching bag. And then I've also got this, which is a bag, and I have the grime guard, but I don't have a little bag because I've already got 2 bags now, so I don't need any more. I don't have a lot of whips, so I don't need a lot of project bags. I just tend to use one at a time. So I was saying at the retreat, I met some absolutely fantastic people. We had an absolute ball on my table. I was so nervous because I'd had some bad experiences in the past about meeting brand new people, and I was really, really not looking forward to it. Well, I was excited to go because I love a retreat, but I was really, really nervous. And I got in touch with Sami, and she said everyone is so friendly, and I said okay. I says, right, I'll just do it. Just go, just do it. The worst that can happen is I spend the weekend in my room, but luckily I didn't. I met some amazing people. So I got there on the Friday. Yes, it was the Friday, and I half expected to be in my room for the night watching TV. I'd even had a book club video call, what's the word I'm after, scheduled. So I thought, well, it doesn't really matter, I'll be in my room anyway, so that's fine, no problem. And then the lovely Samantha put on the Floss Friends group, I'm here, is there anyone here as well? And I commented, yes, I'm here. And she said, oh, lovely. She says, do you fancy meeting downstairs for a coffee or something stronger? And I was like, yes, let's do it. So this was, I think, about 6 o'clock, I'm not quite sure. And so me and Samantha went down and we had a lovely chat, and we had, she'd already eaten, so I had something to eat, and we had a lovely chat together, and it was really nice, and she was so friendly and she was lovely. and she was only there for the Saturday. So we had a nice long catch up, a nice long chat, talked about literally anything and everything. It was great. And then I was just on the way heading back to my room, and I then met up with Shelley as well, and we had a lovely chat as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't spend too much time with Shelley because of my book club meeting, which I did promise to go to, so I was 35 minutes late for that, but I did get there eventually. But we also had a really lovely chat as well, and yeah, it was great. It was so nice to be able to actually meet some of the girls. It turned out that quite a lot of the girls had commented on Samantha's post, and it was like, you should have all just come down. We could have had a little bit of a party, you know. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. Maybe next time. But we did have a lovely chat, me and Shelley as well. Lovely lady from Newcastle. It does make me miss living up north, I must admit. But yeah, we had a lovely time. So then Saturday came, and I met up with Shelley in the morning, and we went to get a table. And that's when my two lovely friends from Zoom turned up, Josie and Dawn. Oh, it's so lovely to see them. They give the best hugs. Honestly, the best hugs. We had a nice big chat, and we all sat at the table, and we were joined by some lovely ladies as well. We were joined by Leanne, and we were joined by Cherie. Cherie, you are so funny. Honestly, you absolutely made the old table in hysterics. I miss you like crazy because you made me laugh so much. And then the lovely Adita as well, who made a lovely little daisy for us, which I will show you shortly, when because it's still on my grime guard on my whip at the moment. So she made us a lovely little daisy, and yeah, it was great. And I'm very much I can't sit still at a retreat. I try very hard to sit and stitch, but I haven't found my comfortable sweet spot yet where I'm set up to sit comfortably and stitch. I take cushions, I've taken stands, I've tried with my Lowry, I've tried with a lap table stand. I haven't found it. I'm telling you, I'm going to take an inflatable chair and sit up the corner because I can't find my sweet spot. But anyway, yeah, so I very much table hopped, and I didn't so much table hop on the Saturday because obviously loads of new people, still quite scary. But on the second day, I jumped around. I literally jumped from table to table to table, and spent as much time with people and spoke to as much people as I physically could, and it was fantastic. Turns out that we were in a room full of Floss tubers, so everyone was like, oh, that's this and that's this lady and that's that lady, and I was like, no clue. I don't watch Floss tube. I have no idea who you're talking about. And I was like, well, okay then, cool. So I sort of was talking to all these people, and they were telling me their names on YouTube, and I said I will very happily subscribe to your channels because I love to support you all, but don't be offended because I probably will not be watching them. And they says, no, that's fine, we understand. I says I'm very much a YouTube crime watcher only person, but I will subscribe, no problem. So some of the people that I remember talking to at the retreat who do have Floss tubes are as follows. So Mama Loves You GB Michelle, we had a lovely conversation at the table, and we also had lunch together one day, and we had a lovely chat. She has mentioned me in a video that I did inspire her wavy hair, which I was really chuffed to see. Go on, Michelle, well done. Once you get that diffuser, it is a game changer, believe me. And you also need a very sexy hat to sleep in, because you keep it looking great for 5 days. Also, yes, so she was lovely. Very much enjoyed talking to Michelle. She was great. Then there was Stitchling with my Litly, which is Loren and Kayla. They are great. It was their first retreat and they had a fantastic time. I'm so glad they had such a great time and a great first experience. We had a great chat. So it was really nice getting to know them. And then there was Cross Stitching Smiles, Jess and Ryan. Such a lovely couple. Her world map, wow. Now, I thought I stitched big projects, doing regulars. And then when I saw her world map that she held up for the entire room to see, I was like, that would fit on my bed. That would be an actual duvet cover on my bed. I was like, wow. So I will be following your progress, Jess, because I cannot wait to see that come alive. That's just going to look amazing. And what you're going to do with it at the end, wow. So very lovely couple. Lovely to meet Jess and Ryan. And then I met Rachel, the talking dog. Lovely girl. I don't think we had much of a full-on chat, but we had quite a chat. So we had a really good chat. We have been talking a lot on Instagram lately. So it was really nice talking to you and meeting you, Rachel. I've subscribed to all your channels, by the way, from this account. So supporting. And then I had a very brief conversation with Cardiff Stitcher Danielle. We had a lovely chat. She is doing a beautiful piece with I think she'd completed the tiger and she was just doing the zebra. I'm very much a full coverage girl, so I very much appreciate full coverage pieces. So it was lovely talking to you, Danielle. And then there was obviously Sami. Sorry, 1 second. I just need to have a quick drink. Okay, that's better. Before my coffee gets cold. Yes, Sami Little Loops. She's just a joy. She is such a fantastic organizer. I can't thank you enough, Sami. I had such an amazing time and I was absolutely gutted when I realised I'd booked my retreat quota up next year, because I was like, oh, I really want to come back, but I've already got 3 booked. And then I was like, sod it, I'm going, and I'm having that one for my birthday. So yeah, my birthday money is paying for that one. I am going. So she's Little Loops as well. Sami on YouTube. Lovely lady, very lovely lady. And then we've got Crazy Cat Lady Stitches Shirley. We had a good conversation about cats. Cats are life. And I love cats very much. My cat, this is my cat Oscar, just up here. I have had him 12 years and we have been together through all the good and all the bad. And you might catch him one of these times in one of my Floss tubes if he's about, but he's a lazy cat now. He just sleeps all day. He is a beautiful boy and I love him to pieces, and he is my complete soulmate. Sorry, Rich, I love you too, but he's my soulmate. So yes, so we had a lovely conversation about cats, and lovely lady, very lovely lady, and she is Crazy Cat Lady Stitches on YouTube. I'm trying to think who else. No, I think that's everything. There was a lot more Floss tubers there. It was absolutely jam-packed on Saturday, and I didn't get a chance to talk to literally everyone, but we're all talking a lot on the Floss Friends group, so I'm hoping next time I go, because we'll all really know each other, we can talk to other people and whatnot. But I had a fantastic retreat, so thank you again, ladies. So I want to thank again Sami at Little Loops on Instagram as well, and I want to thank Andrea, the Stitchy science technician, as well. You girls were amazing and I love you both. So I think that is everything regarding the retreat. I'm going to tell you now quickly about you're all here for stitchy related stuff, and with me being a monogamous cross stitcher, I hope I don't bore you too much, but I only do stitch on one piece at a time. So I will show you my whip now, what I'm working on at the moment. I started this in April 2021. No, April 2022 is when I started this. I am now a year and 3 months into this. It is a regular max colour, and it is Welcome Home by Cherie Gerhardt. I really can't pronounce her last name. I'm sorry, it's terrible. So this is how far I've got so far. I just finished his nose last night, and as you can see, I'm doing the Royal Rose method. I'm coming along, and then once I've filled all of this space here, I'm going to move my nurse frame down, and I'm going to continue the bottom, and then I've only just got this little bit here to do. So I will insert a picture of what it'll look like just up here, and that will be it when it's completed. I have got quite a bit done, but I'm going to leave that as a surprise for when I take the Nurge frame off, and you can see. So that's how far I've got. I am stitching this on just plain DMC ivory 25 count even weave. I don't see the point in getting pretty fabrics when the fabric's going to be covered up. So I haven't fallen down the rabbit hole of pretty fabrics yet, but I do have a few actually. So that's what I'm currently working on. I am I'm nearly 82% complete, and I'm under 60,000 stitches left to do. My aim is to finish this by end of September. My original aim was to finish it on the end of November, but I really want to start my next one, so I'm pushing myself as much as possible to finish this one. Also, that's the cute little daisy that Adita made us. Lovely lady, so full of energy. So that's that. Very cute, and that will live on there for a while. So yes, that's my whip at the moment. I do have another 4-5 whips on the go as well, which I will show you in my next video. I probably won't get them out because I do not have a lot of storage at the moment, so they're sort of like scattered everywhere. I don't have any sort of organisation system at the moment, so they're sort of scattered everywhere. But I will probably pop the photos up and show you them, and then explain basically the details and all that sort of thing. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to show you the needle minders that I brought from Jess Gets Stitching. She was a vendor at the Floss Friends retreat as well, One of these I got from a Stitchy Day that my friend Annabelle and Karen organised in the West Midlands at the Copthorne Hotel in Merry Hill, and the other one I brought from when she was a vendor at the Devon retreat in February this year. So I got that little rainbow there at the Devon retreat in February. Love a rainbow. And then that's the one she created for our Stitchy Day in the West Midlands. Very pretty. She does some of the best needle minders. And then my little boy down here as well. My friend Benta, who lives in the Netherlands, she made this for me. She did have a shop very briefly, but she doesn't really make them anymore. So, and then I got this one from Stitch Mania Stash. And then an Agnes needle minder at the top, which was my very first purchase from Agnes. I do also have a turtle coming, which I hope comes tomorrow. She can't beat Stitchy Mail. So, yeah, that's that. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a bit about yesterday, because once a month I organise a craft group for the people who live in the West Midlands, and because of my job I'm not home very often, so I can only organise it once a month. I'd do it weekly if I could, but I could only do it once a month. So I'm away for 2 weeks at a time working, and when I come back I'm like, right girls, come on, we're meeting up. And we used to meet up in a coffee shop in Merry Hill, and quite a few people came the first time, and then it slowly got less and less. So I decided that I was going to have it a bit nearer to me, because unfortunately having to rely on buses and things, it was just a little bit easier if only a couple of people were coming. So I organised our very first one at a beautiful calf, the Dudley Canal Trust on the Birmingham New Road, for some lovely ladies, and 16 including myself came, and we had an absolute ball. I met up with some ladies I already know as friends. I also met up, so those are Teresa, Leanne, Nat and Tarina. And then I met up with, then we had some other ladies come who I'd met through retreats and other Stitchy Days I'd put together. So that was Hannah and Mandy, Annabelle, Karen. I'm trying to think of everyone that came. There were so many people that came yesterday. I don't want to make loads of notes and keep referring to notes, so I'm relying heavily on my brain. Who else? Chloe, Annabelle's daughter, came as well. Such a sweet little thing. She just sits there happily stitching away. Oh, bless her. And then who else came? And then I met some new ladies as well who've never come to our craft meeting before. So there was Sally, Anna, Alison, and Lisa. Lisa always goes to the Birmingham Stitchy meetup, and I was so chuffed that she came free buses to come and see me. And my friend Tarina came all the way from Cheshire, so that was lovely. Thank you ladies for making the effort and coming all that way. It does mean the world that we could all meet up and stitch all day and drink coffee and eat good food and just chat and stitch. It was great. I loved it. So I was chuffed to bits that lots of people came to that, and I'm hoping going forward that the monthly Stitchy Days will be like that as well. So that was really great. I love that. But Tarina, the naughty little devil. So I'm not one for doing sales. Yes, I'm going to do that temperature sale next year, and when I was looking at sales, I came across another temperature sale that I really liked, which was the peppermint purple bookshelf. And I thought, I can't do 2 of those for 2023. 2024, yeah, we're already on 2023. 2024. So I'll do that for this year. So I managed to catch up all 7 shelves, just backstitch needed on a few of the shelves and a couple of things, and I managed to finish the complete shelf of January of books. The books literally take, oh God, they don't even take that long. So I thought, do all the shelves, get the temperatures, do all the books. Great. I've fallen behind with that now because I'm focused on my welcome home, but I will certainly pick a picture of how that looks at the moment. So this is it at the moment, and then hopefully by the time I do my next floss tube I might have progressed, but I can't promise that. So that's that so far. So Tarina, I was telling Tarina, oh, have you heard about the Stitchy for Witchy on Instagram? And she said, I think she said yes, or did she say no? I can't remember. But anyway, we were talking about that, and I was saying how a lot of people are doing it on Instagram. I said, and funnily enough, I've got a pattern in my Etsy that I've had saved for such a long time because it describes my partner to an absolute T. Well, it describes me to a T and him to a T. So this was the pattern that I'd saved. And basically, I'm the antisocial butterfly and he's the bat. Yeah. So Tarina says, oh, I'd love to do one of hers. We should do that. And I was like, I can't. I need to finish my welcome home. But we could start in Cxcbytan. I was like, oh, no, we can't. She went, yeah, come on, we can. And I says, yes, okay then, yes, let's do it. Because it is for the Witchy Stitcher. So let's do it. You know, we're all one for supporting her through this terrible time and whatnot. So let's do it. So I am stitching this in October, and I think Tarina's doing the festive house. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, Tarina. Can't remember what it was, which one you were doing now. But now I need to get some fabric. Now I don't want plain boring fabric, so I was looking at all my different fabrics that I have. And I have remembered that I do have some really nice bright poison green coloured fabric, and there's also that fabric which I could probably cut in half and use half for the temperature cell and half for this one. But now my job is to try and find some fabric. So she has done the huge job of enabling me, which I'm not easily enabled. So well done, Tarina. Very well done. She broke through my barrier. So yes, that's basically what we are starting in October for Witchy Stitcher. So I will put those details down below for the pattern I am also doing as well. So yes, that's the only new start that I will be doing until October. Just realised I'll be starting 2 in October. That's so unlike me. There you go then. So the next full coverage piece I am doing will be Hocus Pocus, and that is this one here. I'm very much not a person stitcher. I don't stitch people very often, but who doesn't love Hocus Pocus? I mean, Hocus Pocus is an amazing film, and I've grown up with Hocus Pocus, and when the second one came out I absolutely loved that as well. Quite a lot of people were not very happy with that one, but I loved it. I loved it just as much as the first, in a totally different way, because it was just, it's been just, the first one was in the Times, and now this one's in the Times, and I just love them both equally. They're just fantastic. So I'm doing this Hocus Pocus one, and it's tiny. So I'm used to doing regulars, which are quite big, and this is quite small, but I love it. So I should hopefully zoom through that pretty quick. I do tend to do tent stitch, which is a lot faster. If you asked me to do cross now, I'd probably take all day trying to do full cross, because I haven't done it for the last many Heaven and Earth Designs pieces I've done, so it would take ages. So yes, so that was Tarina enabling me. Naughty lady, naughty lady. But yes, I'm looking forward to doing that. I do like to take part in things if I can, for some things like that, so I'm more than happy to take part in that. So yes, that was that. I don't think I have anything else stitch related to really talk about today. Just wanted to give you a rundown on the retreat. I'm going to post some photos at the end. I did actually manage to get some photos of all the lovely ladies I spent time with. I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned you. I'm trying to remember everyone's name. So big shout out to all the girls I didn't remember to mention. You all made my retreat amazing, so thank you so much for that. I have been waffling on for a while now, but I still do have some little things I want to talk to you about. I'm very much an avid reader at the moment. I'm very much a binge watcher. So if you're not interested in me talking about books, film or TV, then you can say goodbye. Thank you for coming and getting this far if you did. Thank you for all the people that has subscribed to my channel so far. If you haven't, I would very much appreciate you subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, thank you. Bye. So for the people that are sticking around, I have finished a few books in the last week, I'd say. I'm in a book club with some lovely ladies on Bookstagram. I do actually have a Bookstagram page as well. This is my name here. I will also link it in the description box if you want to see any reviews I post or anything like that. Feel free to follow me. If not, just wait for my Floss tube videos. So basically, I have finished this book recently. It was called The Open House. This one here. I just finished this a day ago. I read it within a day. I do tend to listen to audiobooks because I like to stitch, so it's very hard to read paperbacks when you need your hands to stitch. Yeah. So I'm very much into audiobooks. So this house is about a lady who's separated from her husband, and she has met someone on Facebook. They have been together a year and see each other as often as they can, and she is going to be moving to Kent to live with him. But she's trying to sell her house, and basically she has the estate agent offers to do an open house, and 13 people go in but only 12 people go out, and I'm going to leave it at that. But this book was brilliant. The reviews on Goodreads were quite poor, saying that the ending wasn't very good and that the build-up wasn't very good, and basically it was just too predictable. But I did not see any of these twists coming. I very much enjoyed everything about this book, and I would highly recommend to anyone that loves a good thriller. So yes, I enjoyed that. The next book I finished was, I'm trying to think, I'll come back to that because I can't remember the name of the book. It was that good. I forgot the name of the book. Anyway, so I have recently watched, literally in 5 days, His Dark Materials, as recommended by Samantha. Oh my god. Oh my god. So the first season I found very, very long. Took me a while to get into it, understand what was going on. It got to about episode 7. I was like, oh yes, this is good. I'm really enjoying this. Fantastic. Whizzed through season 2, whizzed through season 3, and man, was there tears. Heart-wrenching, emotional tears. I absolutely loved this. Thank you so much for the recommendation, Samantha. I very much enjoyed it. It was brilliant. And yeah, I can't really say too much about it without giving it away, but it was great. And I love the little animal daemons. They are just so cute. So yes, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Fantastic. So I think that's the only season I've watched this week. I have watched a couple of Channel 5 thrillers, 4-part thrillers as well, which were really good. If you're interested in those, I won't go too much into those because you might not be. So I watched Heat, which is this one here. And then I watched Blind Spot, which was this one here. So they are very much thrillers. Only 4-part, 1 hour long on My 5. If you're interested in checking those out, they were very good as well. I very much enjoyed those. I demolished those in a day. But yeah, they were great too. Films. I have actually watched a couple of films in the last couple of weeks. So I watched Insidious, The Red Door with Rich. I very much enjoyed this film. I thought it was a fantastic wrap up to the franchise and we loved it. My sister wasn't very keen, but I felt it was exactly like the others. I mean, no film's as good as the first film, is it? But I enjoyed it very much. Jumped a lot, which is normal for me. But I loved it, very much enjoyed it. So if you love horrors, I do highly recommend that one. The second film we watched was The Meg 2. That was very good as well. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it a lot, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. I don't know why. I told my partner Rich, I says, I enjoyed that, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. But yeah, it was good. So I do recommend it. It was really good. Yeah, so I watched The Meg. That was really good. I still can't remember that book, that other book I read. It was really good though. I read it really quick, but I can't think for the life of me what it was. I've no clue. I really don't know. So yeah, we'll I'll keep that for my next video and remember to tell you about that one. But what I'll do is I'll post it below in the link in the description box below, and you can look into that if you fancy. But I remember it being a very, very good book. I just can't remember the title of the book, but I'll post it here because I do have the picture saved, so I'll post it here so you can see it. But yeah, it was a very, very good book. I just really can't remember the book. Yeah, anyway, so that's me. This is my first official Floss tube, number 1. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and you all got your wish. You got a longer video, so go me. It's been very hard to get this video done because the house is full and loud at the moment, and there's lots of noise outside. So I've been trying to find a day where it's actually quite quiet to film. So I hope there's not too much background noise, and if you like this video, definitely give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate you subscribing if you already haven't. Well, that's me for now. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm not quite sure how often I'm going to upload yet, but we shall see. So it will be a nice surprise for next time. So anyway, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye.